Hey guys, Tech Guy here, welcome back to the channel. I first got into PC gaming around 5 years ago, and it totally transformed how I play my games. I was always a console gamer first, and although I have both an Xbox Series X and PS5, my PC has now become my go-to for the latest releases and any games in my backlog. The PC market is extremely volatile, with pricing and availability being the biggest hurdle for most people, I feel. So I wanted to do a video on whether or not I would consider getting into PC gaming in 2025. I have broken this list down into pros and cons, detailing what I feel are the greatest benefits, but also the biggest issues when it comes to PC gaming. Let me start this video with the pros of PC gaming, starting with the games library available to PC users. Now, if you're anything like me, you are likely sat on a mountain of games in your backlog that you will seemingly never finish. Gaming on PC grants you access to decades worth of games that quite often run best on PC when compared to their console counterparts. I feel like this is an easy positive for PC gaming. Since I built my PC back in 2020, I have been able to play games from past generations at higher frame rates and resolutions than I could ever dream of back in the day when these games were released. Not only that, but newer games that are restricted by lower frame rates and lower resolutions on current gen consoles like the PS5 quite often run much better on PC hardware. Of course, if you wanted to run the latest and greatest games at max settings, you will need to take into account the price of building such a powerful PC. But if you're on a budget that allows for it, I think it will be worth it overall, as you will get a much better experience on PC than you would on even the highest end console available right now, the PS5 Pro. Speaking of the actual building process and the parts you can pick, the PC market offers so many options to newcomers to suit a variety of budgets. If you wanted to build an absolute monster of a machine that can play the latest games at 4K with high frame rates, then PC gaming will definitely be for you. However, even if you went for a more modest build, the ability to scale your games by tweaking graphic settings, implementing features like Nvidia's DLSS or AMD's FSR, means you can squeeze every bit of performance out of your system, even if it doesn't feature the latest parts. You can even take this a step further by shopping via the used market too. If you know what you are looking for, you can often find some well-priced older parts that are still usable today for beginners via the likes of Facebook Marketplace or eBay. The sheer number of configurations is truly endless, and as long as parts are compatible, you shouldn't have any issues. I would recommend building a system via a website like PC Part Picker to check that parts will be compatible, as this is a really useful tool for that I still use regularly. Now, this next point can vary on region, but in my experience, if you were just talking about the prices of digital games, then in the UK, PC games are often cheaper than their console counterparts. I tend to buy the latest titles from sites like CD Keys, where I can often pay up to £20 less than what I would pay when buying directly from Steam. Even more so, the same game via the PlayStation or Microsoft Store will likely cost the full RRP of £70 here in the UK or $70 in the US. This for me is an easy win for PC, and the reason why I play most of the latest games via my PC and not Xbox Series X or PS5. The downside of PC gaming, however, is the lack of physical discs. I still buy and sell on PS5 or Xbox games when I'm done with them to help negate the cost, which does help. However, if you have a digital-only console, then the prices of games compared to PC are way higher in my region, and I imagine this is the same in many other regions too. So this next point is probably one of the biggest pros in favour of PC gaming. Every year Steam has 4 major seasonal sales that often reduce thousands of games to insanely low prices to help bolster your gaming collection, as well as running other offers throughout the year as well. This means that at least 4 times a year you can guarantee getting great prices from Steam directly. On top of this, you also have multiple free games given away via Epic Games each year that do not require anything other than having an Epic Games account. Again, this is an easy way to bolster your backlog without spending a penny. As an added bonus as well, Amazon Prime members also get given free games periodically via Prime Gaming. These are often redeemed via the Epic Games or GOG storefronts and is another bonus, providing you have a Prime account. The final point in favour of PC building in 2025 is a fairly general one, but I think it's an important point to make. You might build a PC for gaming first and foremost, but it's ultimately so much more than that. Of course, you can use it to play your favourite games, but you also have a fully fledged computer too.
This means it can be used for web browsing, video editing, and anything else a desktop PC is capable of. Granted, your mileage may vary when it comes to more technical things like video editing, so how it performs with tasks like this will be greatly impacted by your configuration, but you do have the option nonetheless. So now that we have all the pros covered, let's talk about the downsides of PC gaming. I think the biggest hurdle for those wanting to get into PC gaming in 2025 will be the pricing and availability of components. I imagine a lot of you will be governed by budget, and the latest graphics cards being marked up at insane prices will likely be enough to put you off entirely. I mentioned previously the second-hand market, which is always a good option. I would encourage anyone who wants new parts to just be patient. Good deals can be had every day, and any items that are selling out will restock over time. I would urge using sites like PC Part Picker to help identify components that both fit your budget and are currently in stock. This next point is quite possibly my biggest bugbear when it comes to gaming on PC, and that is botched game launches. You may have a top-of-the-line PC, a 4K 240Hz monitor, and a copy of the latest game and you've been dying to play it already, only for you to install it and find that it runs absolutely terribly regardless of hardware. In the worst instances, yes, you can often request a refund, but other than that, your only other option is to wait for the developers to patch the game in order to make it playable. I have found that this tends to be PC who comes off worse here than console gamers, and it is something to bear in mind. It doesn't happen with every release, and playing on PC is still my first choice 99% of the time, but I think it was important to mention as this is a very real possibility. This final point might not be applicable to all, however I wanted to include it regardless. Buying all of the components and putting a PC together for the first time is an exciting prospect, however it can also be daunting if you're new to this. Thankfully, there are a whole host of resources on YouTube that will show you a step-by-step guide on how to build a system from scratch, as well as message boards like Reddit to help with more specific troubleshooting down the line. If you think building PCs from scratch isn't for you, then you also have the option to buy a pre-built computer as well. This is definitely a viable option, however there are some important points to consider. The first is price. Quite often the same rig built by yourself with the same parts will likely be cheaper. I also find that this takes away the achievement of building one for yourself, which I personally found really fulfilling.
Now, this is by no means a definitive list of reasons why you should or shouldn't get into PC gaming in 2025, and an endeavour such as this should only be undertaken once you have done a whole host of research first. Having said that, I hope this highlights some of the more important things you might want to consider when it comes to PC gaming. Overall, I would recommend it to anyone who has shown an interest in the past and loves getting the most out of their games. The sheer number of configurations for every budget, as well as the decades-spanning backlog, I think are the two best reasons to get into PC gaming in 2025. Let me know in the comments of any PC-related questions you may have, or whether or not you would go ahead and get into PC gaming in 2025. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.